2037. This document lays out a comprehensive roadmap for positioning Goa as a strategic hub for shipbuilding within India's growing maritime sector. Shipbuilding has long been one of the Goa's most important industries. It combines a rich maritime legacy with modern engineering capabilities, producing a wide range of vessels right from defense to coastal freighters and environmentally sustainable short sea shipping vessels. And this range not only from the conventional diesel propulsion but also latest modern electric hybrid propulsion systems. Goa, with its natural harbor facilities, a skilled workforce, a rich legacy of shipbuilding from last more than 5 decades, and a vibrant industrial ecosystem, Goa is uniquely positioned to continue to play a leading role in India's shipbuilding journey. However, today, Goa faces growing competition from other shipbuilding capacity which is developing in other coastal states such as Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. To maintain and strengthen its leadership, we as a state must focus on strategic investments in infrastructure, policy, technology, talent and skill development. Our vision is not just about expanding shipbuilding capacity. It is also about building a complete ecosystem for the region. Creating high-value jobs for our Goan youth, our MSMEs, and developing a world-class innovation capabilities in shipbuilding is the goal that we have to achieve. The vision highlights the enormous growth potential for Goa's shipbuilding sector. Currently valued at around 2,865 crores, that is the annual output of the ships and marine assets that get built in Goa, we contribute to almost 40% of India's commercial vessels that are built. And this industry is projected to reach to over 64,000 crores by 2037, contributing nearly to 11% of state's gross domestic product. Beyond its economic value, shipbuilding is a labor-intensive industry with a high employment multiplier for each job that is created in shipyard. It creates about 7 indirect jobs, which is across the supply chain. And to realize this potential, the vision document which we have launched today identifies the key focus areas for infrastructure, policy, financial support, skill development and innovation. Let me highlight some key recommendations that we have laid out. First is the establishment of a dedicated Goa Maritime Board to serve as a single window of authority for shipbuilding clearances, integrating customs and environmental and port approvals in unified digital platform which will streamline the operations and efficiency towards ease of doing business. Second, creation of degree and elective courses for our colleges so that there is a continuous development of a pipeline of skilled talent which will foster world-class innovation, support research and development in modern ship design, modular construction, automation and green shipbuilding technologies. Third, strengthening of shipbuilding and related infrastructure, logistics and supply chain, including maintenance, dredging, construction facilities to support efficient shipbuilding operations. This is crucial so that Goa contributes to have its edge in the national shipbuilding output. Fourth, implementing targeted fiscal incentives, policy support, and most importantly, the industry-academia partnerships to accelerate sustainable growth. This also encompasses subsidies for green vessels, support for strategic projects, and initiatives that would encourage innovation, R&D, and workforce development. Ladies and gentlemen, the Goa Shipbuilding Vision Document 2037 is a roadmap not just for growth, but for building high-value, innovation-driven, and a sustainable maritime ecosystem that will benefit entire region. By recommending this recommendation, Goa can retain its position in India's shipbuilding sector and create meaningful opportunities for our youth and emerge as a globally competitive maritime hub. I call upon all the stakeholders, government, industry, academia, civil society to create this vision a reality and to ensure that Goa remains at the forefront of India's maritime industry by create high quality niche jobs for years to come. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll open for questions.
Mr. Jogle, I wanted to just ask that shipbuilding industry of Goa definitely is a major contributor to it contributes 40% of vessels built all India.
It contributes 40% of commercial vessels built in India currently.
There's a big usually pharma is like pharma exports from India are a big contributor to exports, but shipbuilding is an equally important industry.
So, see, shipbuilding is extremely important. If you see, since World War II, countries that have gone from developing country status to developed country status, out of the 3 or 4 main industries that each of them have pursued, shipbuilding has always been one. So, if you look at China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, they've all had strong maritime sectors over there. However, what we're talking about is 40% and actually quite a low base. The base in India is quite low. If you look at India globally, we're less than 1% of global shipbuilding, which India is aiming to, increase that up to probably approximately between 6 to 10% of global shipbuilding. So, when India achieves a larger base, Goa probably will not contribute 40% at that time.
And size of the industry you said is 2,865 crore. So all that size, all that ships are built in Goa, or like what they are like? Size of the industry is totally in Goa, or it includes outside ships and food?
That's the size of Goa.
Hi, good evening. When you say you want to increase the commercial shipbuilding, what kinds of ship are you referring to? Is it industrial vessels or pleasure craft that kind of?
See, the dominant contributor towards this industry will always be for industrial applications, transport applications, whether it's dry bulk cargo, liquid, gas, it will be, or containers. It will always be industrial applications.
So there is no plan to maybe, because most of the yachts that are operating in Goa are imported from Europe. So
From a shipbuilding perspective, the pleasure craft industry is an extremely small part of it. Globally, it doesn't contribute that significant a part. Small vessels, small pleasure crafts don't contribute a significant part to global shipbuilding.
Goa is not looking in that direction.
No, there are companies that are doing this. They should also be encouraged because it generates a lot of high-skilled employment. But if you really see where the demand is, because you have to cater to demand. The real demand opportunity is in large-scale industrial transport applications.
After mining closure, barge building is totally stopped. You have said that.
See, barge building has stopped, or greatly reduced at least in Goa. We are seeing with a degree of some mining restarting, we're seeing repair barges coming back up. However, if you look at Goa from a barge building perspective, Goa is extremely productive from a barge building perspective. Now that productivity can extend out to other vessels also. So there are opportunities available out there.
How many, if you can give us a picture of how many shipyards are there in Goa?
I don't have the exact number. I think it's properly active for new build constructions. I think it's around 40 in Goa, but there are in total probably around 32 or so shipyards in the state.
So, Chogle, my name is Ashley Rosario. I represent the Goan. I just wanted to know from these 14 shipyards that you have mentioned, other than GSL, are there any ocean-going vessel building capacity in Goa? Is there any ocean-going vessel capacity?
There is. A few shipyards are making ocean-going vessels. The Chogle shipyard in Rotli and Rasai both are making ocean-going vessels for the European market. And Mandavi Dry Docks is also building some ocean-going vessels as well.
One question. The recent incident at Vijay Mani.
This is the first time I'm seeing a shy media, so
No, it's shy because of the question that's coming. The recent incident at Rasai, where the unfortunate accident at the Vijay Mani, what kind of safeguards the industry has for tackling such kind of problems?
see, I can't comment specifically about what happened at Vijay Mani because I'm not privy to the exact details of that. But as a general rule, across all shipyards, safety is an extremely important part of the operating principles of the business. And most shipyards would, in any review presentation, always start off with the safety presentation. If you look at classification societies also, that under which a lot of these ships that are built are under the supervision of, they also in any of the meetings will start off with a safety check. Right? So safety is extremely important. We're dealing with paint, we're dealing with extremely flammable materials, we're dealing with extremely heavy structures, we're dealing with a lot of people, we're dealing with cranes, so a lot of very heavy structures moving above a person's height. So safety is extremely important, and shipyards generally tend to have a very strong safety culture. But all in all, if you actually look at Goa's record from a safety perspective in shipbuilding, despite what happened over the weekend, you will see actually a very, very strong safety track record in the state. Probably one of the best in India, and probably one of the best in the world also.
One corollary to that, the expansion plans of the shipbuilding industry in Goa that I see will also require a lot of human resources. Technically, Goa has a very strong connect with the shipping industry in the sense that a large section of Goa's population is involved in providing human resource to the shipping industry. Is there any interaction happening between you all as CI and the existing human resource that exists in the sector?
Well, see, I think we've actually come to what the fundamental point is regarding the opportunity in Goa. Goa, because of the promotion of and the development of the shipbuilding industry in Goa, because of really as an offshoot of the mining industry, because we use the rivers to navigate. Yeah. So I think if you look at across all states in the country, Goa is singularly the state that has probably the biggest competitive advantage from a knowledge perspective. The depth and expertise of the local knowledge base over here is something that none of the other states can really compete with. The knowledge, of course, is with a lot of people who have also moved into Goa and settled into Goa also. Now, this is really an opportunity. I mean, the way we should look at this is if all the states are moving extremely aggressively and assertively in terms of building up the shipbuilding capacities. Next week is the India Maritime Week. You will see a host of investment decisions being announced by particularly Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Orissa. You will see there's a lot of activity that is happening in the sector in those states. So Goa should really view it as from the perspective that it should not be an opportunity loss. You know, there are some areas that Goa can really do well in, particularly what I would say the smaller but higher technology ships. And that really is an area that Goa should not lose its opportunity to the other states. We want, of course, every state to do well because the country does well and we all progress. But there are certain capabilities that are there in Goa that Goa can play an extremely important role in the nation's development on this regard, but at the same time, somebody is going to do it and it's better that it remains in Goa. Better for the nation and it's better for Goa, for the state as well. In part of the vision document, what we've, I think the need for the industry, the request from the industry on this is Goa should get a state maritime board, which is there in all the other forward-looking states. So if you see Maharashtra, Gujarat, Kannada, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Orissa, all of these have state maritime boards, which has been requested by the industry for quite a few years. In the last budget, the Honorable Chief Minister did announce that we will be establishing one in the state. And this is really required because it provides almost for the other states and it's worked extremely well. And it's no surprise that those states that have well-functioning state maritime boards also are the leaders in terms of, will be the leaders in terms of whether new capacities are being developed. All the new capacities are coming in with states with strong maritime boards. The other requirement that we've had, maybe Prasad, you want to touch on the degree college?
Yes. Yes, today I think, as we are trying to also enhance our capacity, infrastructure capacity from the shipbuilding perspective, it is also important to augment the resource and the talent for that, because it's an integral part of the process, needless to say. And with that regard, we have from the industry side, our request also is to have a dedicated degree program for naval architecture and shipbuilding in Goa. If you see back in the 80s, actually Goa had developed Institute of Shipbuilding Technology in Bogda, in Vasco. It is still running. And in fact, even today, quite highly sourced talent, not only in the country but also outside country. If you go to Middle East, if you go to Southeast Asia, and some of this talent you'll also find in Europe and also in North American markets. So just one college, if it can have over last, I think 50 years or so, more than 50 years, such a big impact. Today, with the changing times, it is time to move towards having our own degree college. And Goa doesn't have one as far as shipbuilding and naval architecture is concerned. Of course, there are other colleges which are developed in other states, like there is IMU in Vizag, in Cusack, in Kerala, and so on. But I think with Goa's own demand and what is expected, I think industry is requesting that this should be looked upon so that the brain drain and the talent drain doesn't happen, and we are able to enhance our own capabilities.
Wasn't there a proposal to upgrade the same shipbuilding at Goa and Konkan some time ago?
I am not privy to that. Sorry.
If there are no further questions, I guess you already have your tea and snacks.
Okay.